ensure that you're in a safe and distraction-free environment. So you're not close to cooking appliances, you're not close to open flames and anything that would endanger you, okay? So thank you all once again and welcome. To take the next agenda, I'd love to call on Engineer Bosede Adewale, our National Technical Secretary, for the citation of our speaker. You're in a safe and distraction-free environment. So you're not close to cooking appliances, you're not close to open flames and anything that would endanger you.
Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening from everywhere you are joining us. It's actually my privilege to read the citation of our speaker in person of Sheung Babajide Duroshola. Our guest today is a Pan-African strategic executive, group architect, and a purpose-driven leader with over 18 years of experience spanning the UK, European, and the Middle East and Africa, while she concentrates in Nigeria. Please join me in welcoming Sheung Jide Duroshola, popularly known as Sheung BD, a former Microsoft and ALS African executive whose work sits at the intersection of strategy, growth, technology, faith, and human potential. As the country growth marketing manager for ALX Nigeria, Sheung played a pivotal role in driving Nigeria to become the organization's top global market for revenue and graduate generation, achieving remarkable results through a lean growth approach that delivered a 40% budget underspend. Beyond the corporate world, Sheung is passionate about helping professionals move from survivor mode to strategic leadership through our platform. Sheung BD's Corner. She equipped people with practical framework around faith, AI, productivity, and personal growth. Her impact span speaks for itself, from helping drive the graduation of over 500,000 young people into technology to building more than 30 strategic partnerships, receiving about 14 industrial awards in 36 months, and growing a LinkedIn community of over 40,000 followers in just 5 months, generating more than 100 million impressions in 2025. She's also the force behind the widely celebrated Do Acting for the Soft Life campaign, which generated over 20 million clicks. But beyond the numbers, is a woman passionate about helping people think bigger, grow intentionally, and build meaningful lives and careers. Today, we are delighted to have her with us for Embodying Without Boundaries. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Sheung Babajide Duroshola. Sheung, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Madam President, and thank you very much for the community as well. I think while you were reading that, I was imposter syndrome. It's real. In case anybody does not know, I was wondering, I mean, is that me? Is there someone else that is actually that she's referring to and all of that? But thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you very much, ladies, for making it out today. Sorry about my wonky voice. I wish I could go into details why that is, but just bear with me. I will try my best to make sure that the next 30 or so minutes that we have together is very impactful. I know it's Saturday and a lot of us women especially are on the move and we have our AirPods in, we're doing other things in other parts of the house or in other parts of our lives as well, I'd really like to encourage that if you, just in case you're lucky to be watching this on two devices where you have a mobile phone and a laptop, or you're watching this with your mobile phone directly or just one device, please can you ensure that you either have a notepad outside of your device, or you have opened a note on a second device as well. Again, the reason is because one of the things that I found that is, as women and as professionals, we get into the habit of going back and back to back for conferences, for webinars, for YouTube videos, for all of these things. We keep learning and consuming so much information that we do not live with an action plan. So we become overwhelmed with this information, and we're not even sure on how to digest them or on how to actually execute them. There is so much information out there. I'm sure whatever I'm about to tell you, you probably would have heard of it before. But you know where the hard work is? Execution. Execution is where the hard work is. So there is nothing that I'm coming to tell you that you may have never heard before, whether in your religious gathering, whether in a book, whether in a seminar, whether within this community that you're in, whether in a leadership forum. There is nothing new. What will make you stand out is the boldness in executing, is the boldness in creating an action plan. Otherwise, this is just going to be another webinar again, another person, me, that you've never heard of before, that I'm just sitting down in front of you and taking about 40 minutes or 1 hour. It's just going to be another thing again that you're just going to and then letting it out, you won't. And letting it out is where you actually have an execution plan. So I beg, I usually advise as well, sometimes it's okay to take a break from the different conferences. But we're in August. I'm sure if I was to ask, like, and allow me to do this introduction a bit, if I was to ask a couple of us, like, how many webinars have you been for this year? At least minimum of two, three. Some are even paid for, some are even, like, invited for. But what have you done from them? Has it changed something inside you? Has it unlocked something inside you? Because if it hasn't, getting to that global forum, you're definitely going to struggle. It is not a cost, it is not anything, but it's going to be a struggle. Because again, like I said, I was just putting a TikTok info up now, and I was saying, you know what, this generation and this time that we're in, we're so lucky because there's so much information out there. People are willing to share. Back when I started my first job, nobody was talking. Nobody was saying anything about how they got a job. There was no AI. There was no help in CV writing. There was nothing. It was just dead silence. All you just saw people doing was carrying a bag and going to work. How they got the job, how they were navigating it, how they were getting promoted, how they were moving on. Nobody was saying. But now, we now have, like, overwhelmness of information, because even someone that has 2 years experience too is carrying a mic and ring light and talking about their experience. So you're just like, yeah, but you've not stewed it enough yet. Not that you shouldn't share, but are you skilled enough for us to even listen to you, right? So now we have so many information. People are willing to share. Now it is now actually up to you to pick the good ones, be a basket, sift through the good ones and run with it. If you don't run with it, you're just going to be a sponge and you keep consuming. And then it's like, oh, I don't know what to do. No, you know what to do, but you haven't just yet started. So I do hope that today, when we leave, and when we're done, you'd actually live with something very important. You live with information, you live with actionable plans that would actually get you started. Okay, just give me a moment and I would share my screen and we'll get started. But then once again, my name is Shomba Shola. You've heard all the accolades and the profile. I am not an engineer, but I have worked with a number of engineers, as you heard, from Microsoft days, from ADC days, right onto ALX. So from graduates to young professionals trying to just, get themselves, out into the world and out into the corporate space as well. I have worked with them. I have shared as much as I could with the best of the ones that I could as well. And we have seen changes. So I do hope that today you give me this few minutes or hour. If it gets to an hour, I hope it doesn't, and then we will be able to get started. So allow me to share my screen and I will get started in a minute. I do apologize. Oh, this has thrown me out. Okay, All right, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Sorry, I'm not an engineer, so in case you're like, doesn't she know? Please, I just know how to do my work. It's very. I get started. And please, in the chat window, I would like to know where everyone is joining us from. It would really help me as well. Because what that would do for me is it would just help me to understand the audience that I have in the room and also just help me to know how to navigate my conversation. And please let me know when you can see my screen. Can
Yes,
anybody
we can
see
see it
can
now.
see my screen? Thank you very
Yes.
much. Okay. All right. So in the meantime, while we get started, just please keep sharing where you're joining us from and maybe how many years of experience do you have, just so that I'm able to tailor my conversation appropriately as well and the context that it's that it can help also. So today I've been invited to talk about engineering beyond borders. So I know borders at first might sound like, oh, it has to be obodo oyinbo, and this is the foreign land, with the westernized world and country. Yes, while it is applicable, some things that are there are things in my own opinion are transferable. Your skills and your values are definitely transferable. What does that mean? That means that the I always believe in something. The reason why people go to the gym every day and why you don't go to the gym for 2 days and work out for 10 hours and lose 10 kg. Thankfully, we're women, so we understand how hard it is to lose weight. And you don't lose your 10 kg immediately is because you have to build a muscle for it. The reason why you can carry 1 kg today and then by 3 months' time carry 5 kg, and then in a year's time start to lift 10 kg. You don't lift 10 kg immediately. I can tell you that for a bit because I lift weights. You cannot lift 10 kg immediately. You start gradually. So the way skills work and ethics and values work is this: you have to have started from somewhere. You have to have started from a certain stage. The little you start, the better it gets. And before you know it, it becomes a part of you. It forms a six pack that wherever you go, whether Nigeria, Uganda, UK, US, Austria, Sweden, that is the same ethics and muscle that you already have. So while it says beyond borders, even when you're changing industry, there are some skills that are transferable. Might not be UX, UI, the technical one, but there are some skills that are transferable. And those skills will enable you to easily adapt into any industry that you move around or into any country. So think of it that way. And that's kind of how that would guide the next few slides we're going to be seeing. And then I get started. And then my slides are not moving. Okay, my slides should move now. All right. So this is the snapshot. If you're looking for a snapshot and thinking, okay, what is the shortest conversation that we're going to have today? It's 2 shifts, one career. And you're thinking one career because you're an engineer already by profession, right? But the shifts, there's some shift that has to happen. And I'll be able to talk about the examples in a bit. So most of the time, engineers are seen as, servicing. Oh, take this, fix this, create this, do this. And then you're almost like giving briefs on what to create. You need to get out of that mindset. And then, I hear a lot of times engineers say, oh, nobody told us. Oh, I did not know about that. You can't do that anymore. Otherwise, I mean, again, I'm not here to say, oh, AI is going to take your job. AI is going to replace you. We can all see that, it's not all jobs AI would definitely take immediately, but in automation, it is very possible. Now, how do you now even apply yourself to make sure that one, your skills, your career, your AI knowledge can also take you out of borders? Funny enough, none of my slides even talks about AI because AI is already like, let me refer back. So back in the days when the things they'll ask you is, oh, can you, I mean, and I'm sure Madam President will be able to relate to this. One of the questions they'll ask you is, oh, can you use PowerPoint? Can you use Word deck? Those were things. Can you use a Word document? Can you create slides? Nobody asks that. Have you guys noticed? Nobody asks that at interviews anymore. And that is the same way how AI is going to be. Nobody's going to ask you, can you use AI? At your interview, they'll already tell you if you're doing virtual interviews, if you've been looking for jobs lately, because I've been in that setting, right? They would ask you to open your Zoom or whatever you're joining them with and create a prompt and do something using AI, because now it is a required skills. It's not an additional skills. So let me take us back to this now. So that's why I'm not even going to talk about AI, because AI, if you are not in tune with AI right now, then I have many questions for you. But as an engineer, you are not there to service. You're not there to fix all the time. You're there to start owning revenue. You're there to start speaking revenue. That is what your senior management will relate to. That is what your C levels will relate to. That is what your founder would relate to. If you're still in the box of, oh, let's create, oh, let's add an additional tool, is it a marketing department like me will be thinking, are you making my applicant or my funnel journey longer, or are you making it shorter? The finance person is thinking, if this additional thing you're about to add to the app or to the web app, again, excuse my lack of technical words, technical jargons, right? This thing, how much would it cost us? Is it going to cost us more money in terms of overhead, operations, maintenance? Let me take us back to AI. If you've been reading a lot of articles in terms of businesses, have you noticed that the old race of where it's almost like AI was the floodgates, where they said, oh, AI, and everybody was, an all organization were just, subscribing to AI, AI. By the time they were sitting down with their CFOs, chief financial officers, they were like, hang on a second. People are not even using the AI the way we want to use it, and they're not even optimizing it. So what's not happening? Organizations are now reducing the limitation. Is that not so? Has anyone not experienced that in their organization? They are now reducing the assets. They're now reducing, okay, who are the people that really needs it? And that is what has gone on to create the roles of AI prompt engineers, AI automation, AI department. So because now we shouldn't really give it to everybody because it's costing us a lot of money. So who are the people that we just really need to give it to, that understand and that can optimize it? So, as an engineer, you need to start speaking revenue language. You need to start owning revenue, not just, oh, we are creating, oh, we are building. You need to understand, okay, everything you're creating, how does it affect other people? How does it affect the other departments? How does it affect the other segments? How does it affect the business's objective for that year? How does it affect the revenue? Does it bring more revenue? Does it reduce the revenue generation? Does it increase it? If you're not thinking that way, yeah, there's a possibility AI may take your job, or anybody else that is thinking that way could replace you. The second thing that you need to also stop thinking about is you cannot always be an executor. They cannot always be telling you what is happening. You cannot be second guessing. You cannot be outside the main circle where decisions are being made. You can't afford to be. You don't say, oh, they don't invite me. Ask to be invited. Look like you're interested to be invited. Sound like you are interested to be invited. Speak like you are interested to be invited. Best of all, like I said, look like when they talk about meeting, don't say, what meeting is that again? Who are the people that are there? You already have shown that you are not interested. Or you get to the meeting and they're speaking and they can already tell that you have already started doing shopping list of the weekend, or your mind has gone away, or you're already staring. The person that is presenting can tell that you're staring at her wig, or you're staring at how she looks like, not even listening. I hope you know that people that have been presenting for a long time can actually tell when the room is no longer, when they've lost the room. I mean, you can, if you're a Christian, you can tell when your pastor, they know, they can tell that everybody has switched off and they say something to wake you up. So if you feel like you are in a room, especially in a room of 10 people, they can tell that you're not listening. They can tell when in a meeting, the CEO has their camera on and you do not have your camera on. Clearly, you're doing something else. So again, show, act, you will be invited. And because that way, you're able to walk away from, in fact, I feel like I've already done my presentation already, but it's fine. This is just an intro. You're able to walk away from being an executor, from being reactive. You are now proactive, because why? When you joined the all hands meeting, you went with your paper and notes and you were listening. Okay, you can't go with your paper and notes. There is AI, you're an engineer. Sorry. When the AI gave you the meeting point. Did you even take your time to read through? You didn't. Did you even take your time to say, okay, how does this relate to me as a UX designer? How does this relate to me as a UI designer? How does this relate to me as a quality assurance person? What can I do here? Okay, these marketing people are complaining that people are dropping off. Okay, who do I need to speak to? You are not thinking, you are waiting for marketing to say, oh, everybody keeps falling up from the funnel. What is the problem? That is when you want to react. But meanwhile, 2 weeks ago, somebody from the marketing team from another country or from another part of the world had talked about it, but you did not follow up because what? You are waiting for your manager and your team lead to bring it up. But after that 2 weeks ago, you did not even bring it up in your own smaller circle. You are waiting because oh, it's not my business. But you're not sounding like, oh, ma, or what, however you regard yourself, because now there is a new thing going on viral. Let's not even go into that. Ma or sir, however you regard yourself within the organization culture. Like, oh, I just wanted to remember, maybe in case we've missed it out. Or if your manager is not someone that likes to be called out on a meeting, have you gone to them side and side, say, ma, sir, maybe we have forgotten. There was a meeting that we had that 2 weeks ago's ants call, and marketing had mentioned, do you mind if I look into it and find out or work with somebody? Your pa not interested. You are still overwhelmed with oh, they're not paying us salary, they're not increasing they say no bonus for us. Oh, they say we should be coming late. Oh, why are they asking us like you're interested in the minute things that are not very attached to the company's overall, things that you cannot really change. But the ones that you can change are being presented to you. But because you're not paying so much attention, you're missing out on it. And then you're wondering why other people are getting invited. You have to stop being an executor. You have to move away from being an engineer that wants to fix something. You have to start being someone that listens out and can dictate. You have to become an architect, right? An operator, basically. You can already see that, if we fix this thing, this might be what would happen. If we put another, I don't know, like allow again, and let me use my ALX, my ex ALX hat, right? If we put another gap, if we put another field, how would that affect marketing? How would that affect our revenue? How would that affect our SLA? You need to think ahead so that when you get to meetings, you are speaking solutions. You are speaking like an operator, not speaking like someone that is just waiting to be briefed, or someone that you understand urgency. Oh, let me speak as a marketing person. Engineers don't understand urgency, and it's not even a case of you need to understand it. You need to just show empathy, act as if you will understand it more, then leave that bigger room and come closer to the person that mentioned it. But you're like, oh, you didn't say it on the call. You should have said it on the call. Guys, sometimes there are some key information that would happen outside the main call. I hope you know, just for the context and just to, make the room softer a bit. Some promotions are discussed at Owambe's where people are tying gele and sharing jollof rice. I hope you know that. Some promotions are discussed between the driver and the founder. I hope you know that. Some conversations are happening at church car park, at party car park, at salons, where it is not even a corporate world, where it is not even they have no business, but it is just a conversation. That is how promotions are happening these days. You can quote me anywhere. Unfortunately, I don't have any what's it called? I don't have any article or any evidence or any data to show you. But based on people that I speak to and people that I know in that level, yes, some people's and promotion just happens over a cup of wine, or a glass of wine, rather, a glass of wine, or over pepper soup, or over at a joint. Because sometimes it is the character. Remember what I said, act it, look it, be interested in it. So sometimes your body language gives it off that you're not even interested. Your I again, for Lagosians, you come into work, there was traffic. There is always traffic in Lagos. There is always going to be traffic in Lagos on Monday. Standard. What are you going to do about it to make sure that you are not affected by traffic? Yes, it might be a little bit discomforting, but it's part of the journey. I don't want to say it's part of life, but it's just part of the journey. And it doesn't mean that you should now also, when you become a senior manager, now make it harder for somebody else as well. And when you get managers too that are a bit more flexible, it's a blessing. Oh, let's stop there and get into our slides. Okay, are we out here? Because I can't see the chat window or anything. I can only see my slides. So I hope everyone is still here. Can you just do an emoji so I can just know you're here and I've not lost you yet? Okay. All right. Cool. All right. Cool. Okay, now we've just started. We've just started, and I'll be very time conscious as well. We just started. Okay, so the global reality check here. Automation is coming for the title, not the talent. All of the things that I said in my intro was about the talent. I did not say any job description, if you remember. I did not say, oh, whether you are 1 year, you are 2 years, you are 10 years, you're 5 years. I didn't say whether you're a senior UX, UI, UX, intern UX, executive UX, assistant manager. It was more of the skills and character. Automation cannot come for talent, because for now, because I don't know what's going on, but for now, AI or automation is not human. It's not a living thing. It is still what you give it that it fits out. Now, how do you stand apart in terms of talent? That was all the first intro. If you caught anything there that I'd just given. So global recognition, again, is not given to those that work in silence. So, I'm good at my job. Somebody will see me. No. Nobody will see you. Yes, no, nobody's going to see if you're good at your job. The way you'll be good at it is when you speak, and how much your output technically and I don't know, soft skills really as well, if there's anyone around that as well, how it aligns with the business objective. It has to align. If it does not align, then you are still playing small. So your names can be mentioned, but when it comes to appraisal, and they're like, okay, how did what you did, or how your name went far, okay, best staff of the month, how does that align with the organization's objective? You have to make sure that AI can disrupt, AI can write, AI can do all of those things. But for you, how are you able to overcome all these other different obstacles that are there? And that is where you come, and that's how you come in from your skills. That is how you come in from your value. That is how you come in from your interest. That is how you pay attention, where you are interested, where you stretch. We don't like the word stretch, but if there is no senior person that I know that has never stretched. What does stretch mean? Okay. For instance, you are an UI, UX engineer, but a time came and there was nobody in, there was nobody. Okay, does somebody want to be muted, please? And there was no one to cover quality assurance or quality control in terms of reviewing if the app works or the solution you built, if it's functioning and all of that. And I think some organizations nowadays add it together as that one rule. But let's assume in this scenario there are two rules. There was no one. But for you, you're like, no, I've done my own. No, that's not my business. That's not my business. Whether it works or not. Oh, that's not my business. Oh, I'm done. I'm finished. No, you stretch. Yes. No, we don't like it, but let me give you the expo of why stretching is good. Stretching looks like a big work, right? At the moment. Like, oh my God, why? This is 5 people's role. Why is it just me? And I've been doing it for 6 months. Please, Maz, do it. Because you have forgotten that on your CV, it is also a bragging right for you to be able to say, so on your CV, all of you are writing, I'm adaptive, I'm flexible. But yet, we look at your job experience. You have only done your job title. You have only done your scope. You have not gone outside of it. How does that show flexibility? How does that show that you're adaptive? How does that show, that's this generic thing that everybody writes on their CV, and when you see it, we already laugh because we know that you not think it through, right? Oh, I'm flexible. I can adapt. No, you cannot adapt because I can see your job role. You said, for instance, you said you're an admin assistant and it's only admin you have done. I did not see you say, oh, you supported activation. I can't see you saying that you supported products. Or I can't see you say, oh, you did product sampling. I can't see you saying that as a UX engineer, you were interested to going on ground with the marketing team to see how the solution that you created worked. That is a talent. A title is, I'm just a UX engineer and that is all I've done. Bye. See ya. It broke. Oh, let me fix it. It didn't break. Good luck. Did this work? Did the consumer, end user that I need it for? Because you are not the end user. Whatever you're designing right now, whatever code you are writing, it is not for you. It is for an actual end user that will generate revenue for your organization. So if you are not interested in seeing how your end user is adapting, accepting what you have created, you are still working within your title and not as a talent. Anybody, male, female, that you may have heard, whether the first guy at Facebook, Nigeria, whatever it is, at Microsoft, they were talents. The talents meaning that they could do more than the actual title. You can ask anybody that is at the C level. You will hear a marketing person. As a marketing, let me start with myself. As a marketing person, I did activation. Marketing, I hope you know what marketing is. Marketing is just branding and communication, right? As a marketing person, I did activation. I went on the road because I need to even be sure that people even like what we're designing. As a marketing person, I was in charge of partnerships. I was speaking to partners and letting them understand the value of partnering with ALX. That is a role. That's not my role. The partnership person should just come and meet me and say, "Oh, give me flyer to go and speak to this." But no, I was anchoring those conversations. I was also anchoring partnership revenue conversation. What does partnership revenue conversation means? It means that people that are ready to drop money to be partners with us, and that comes from a case of being able to market the value. I could say that's not me. That's BD, business development people. You have to stretch. If nobody has ever told you that before, or you've never understood the importance, please understand it today. And I hope that as we go along the slide as well, we'll be able to understand why. Now, two reasons why Nigerian technical talents get stuck. The invisible, syndrome. My work will speak for me. Okay. My work will speak. First of all, we don't even know it's your work. It's not even your work. I hope you know. You are paid for it. So by organization and capitalism and commercial reason, it belongs to your organization. I hope you know that, right? So, I always say, "Oh, my work." No, it wasn't your work. When it is your work, we will let you, even you will know. When somebody gives you a brief to create, that's not your work. When it is within your scope, that is not your work. Your work, the way people always allow me say, I always say my work, like I'm like, no, it's not your work. That's your job. Your job. Your job is to do that. That is what you are paid for. Don't tell me, "Oh, you know how much I stayed up all night to do the work." That's your job. You did not finish it on time. You did not ask the right question. So you struggled. It is your job to fix it. It is your job to deliver it. Is it your job to go and research, go and speak to people and on how to optimize your time or manage your time better? That is your work. That is what you need to fix. But your job is to deliver whatever it is your organization has asked you to. And it's going to take you all night, unfortunately. It might, but it shouldn't, but it might. That is where you come in smartly. But let's go back to the invisible syndrome. "Oh, I do my work so much. They didn't see me. They didn't say it." You too, you're not even speaking about your work. You're not even because you yourself, and what is one of the things that I find a lot. I don't know about, I don't think I've maybe a number of female engineers that I've met as well. You cannot even articulate your work, not to talk of your job. Let's leave work. You cannot even articulate your job. You cannot articulate your job that it would sound in a storytelling way. If you're an engineer on this call, you don't know how to storytell, please, I am not saying use AI, because again, we'll get to that in a minute. Is what you feed AI will give you back. AI does not know you except until you feed it with the information, right? And if you don't feed it with the right information in a very systematic way, it will just give you grrr. And they used to just go and be giving everybody brr. And with the way, I hope that Nigeria is still not one of the top countries that uses AI. Some people have gone with the way people are using AI in US and UK. They've gone. They've left us behind. I think we're still like maybe in 100th country in terms of our AI usage. Some people have gone. Some people don't even. People have even moved away from typing. I hope you know typing using AI. People speak to AI like they're speaking to a therapist in terms of work related, right? There is a way to do it. Now, let me come back to this. if you're not talking enough about how what you do and how it impacts the organization in a storytelling way, in an impact way. First is storytelling, second is impact, third the impact, how it ties to the organization objective, nobody would actually listen to you and you would not be seen. And it is not by how many times you post on LinkedIn. Even your LinkedIn posts, you still would not be seen. And I will tell you why. If I forget to tell you, please write it in the chat window. A lot of your content are not seen by the right people. And I will come back to that in a minute. In a minute. Now, how do you make sure you are seen? It will be on the next slides as we go along, right? Now, the constraint fluency. So again, your energy, you're burning your energy on oh, you're fighting. I find that a lot of people are burning energy on emotional feelings, not work, or not on results. You are burning energy on, oh, they said we should come tomorrow. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Oh, they didn't see us. Can you see? Can you see? Oh, you're burning energy on things that does not matter. So that already downs your emotional effects. That downs your attitude to work. That downs you're so good. You are good. But because oh, they said, oh, the team lead, see how she even spoke to me. See how she read the email. You are copying the email, putting it on chat GTP. Interpret this email. You are focusing on the wrong things. You're not focusing on the right thing. You're focusing on mood, on emotions. You're not focusing on work, on results. You're not results driven. And you wrote it on your CV, they are result driven. But yet, when they say everybody come to work on Sunday, you're like, what? Sunday? Why? Your why should have been the first thing. Why? Why Sunday? Is it because it's needed on Monday? Is it because we have a product launch on Tuesday? Is it because the check that was like, is it because we are close to the end of the year and we are very far from our revenue? You're not asking the right question. You're asking why Sunday? What is that? No, 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 no. My weekend, my time. You're not concentrating on the right things. And I tell you something for a fact. If you're within the first 10 years of your working life, of your working professional, you're gonna burn midnight candles that you would not like. But I can also guarantee you that if you are smart and if you take all of these different things that this community provides to you and that you get from people that have, like I always say, trackable. I like to put that word, trackable working experience, and you can see the trajectory. It would pay you. You would see the change. You would reap the effort. But if you don't, if you're like, no, I can't burn candles. Oh, somebody just did it in 1 year. Yes, there is luck, there is favor, there is all of that. There is trust fund babies as well. I hope you know there are people that came from working class families. So it is so easy to pave way for them because their family, third generation, fourth generation, have been in the corporate world. You, me, we are the first generation. I can say that we are the first generation in the corporate world. There was nobody my mom was a teacher, my dad was a businessman. So there was nobody really that was in that corporate world to show the ropes, to show the ways. So if you're the first, you kind of need to watch other people and see other people and be like, okay, what are they doing? Because people are doing so many things that they're not saying. And I always fight with my colleagues about that. They are burning candles. Right now, I'm on holiday with my family in a different country. And here I am. Right? So people are burning candles because they understand it, but they're not saying it enough. So when people just see them, they see their names, they see them shining, they see them traveling, they're like, I want to be that. You can't be that in 2 years. No, there is a candle to burn. Favor would make it work because, of course, I'm a faith person as well. But trust me, there are also some characters that you have to put in place and put in check that would make it even work faster and quicker. Let's go back to the slide. So you have to make sure that you are not burning your energy on, local systems, on, oh, what's not working, what's working, and all of that. No, rise above all of it. Rise above it. Everywhere is toxic. Forget, even in your family with your siblings, it's still toxic. Why are you concerned about the toxic environment at the office? If you can navigate home and family, why is office different? Do you understand? So if you're being carried away by that, you are gonna get stuck. You are going to get overwhelmed. You are going to always want to be transitioning. pivoting. That's the new word I hear now. I want to pivot. I want to pivot. You're going to want to be pivoting every 6 months, every 3 months. When there's a new change, when there is a new industry, when there's a new skills, you will always want to pivot. But you have to first of all make sure that you yourself, you are in tune with what you are doing, your local system, rising above minimum, like this little conversations. Be, and I think I've gone on to my second slide now, but let me just stay on this slide. So whatever it is that you're looking out for, whether it's qualification, certification, your paperwork and everything, make sure that it is something in line with where you're heading to. So sometimes whatever we do in Nigeria may not be applicable to Austria, may not be applicable, and that's where the accreditation question always comes in. Because I hear some engineers say, "Oh, this certification I have now, does it work in this other country? Does it work in this other place?" Sometimes yes, sometimes no. But my own, and I would continue to say it loud, is your character would make way for you. Because most times recruiters and senior managers are also, they are ready to take chances on someone that they can see that has what stretched, really flexible, they've seen the evidence, and they have the character as well, that your character shines. I can tell you now that while most of you are probably watching, not just listening, you are smiling as I'm speaking. Because why? My character is brooding through the screen. But I'm not here and just going, so today, part two, next slide. So the local technical language, you know, I fixed 50 bugs. You'll be bored, just be like, I don't understand. Like, what's going on? What's this? You won't be interested. But right now, even if you were not even watching the screen and you were on your airport, you wanted to come back and say, who is this person speaking? Because why? I can speak clearly. A lot of engineers don't speak clearly. And now we're on the next slide. We don't even, you lose us. Once the non-engineering people are in the room, engineers, you lose us. Like, we're just like, I don't understand this thing that this person just said. How does it tie to my number? You lose us. You're not speaking the global revenue language. You have written your CV. Your CV is so much of downtime. I fixed this. I built this. I created this. Yes, how does it tie to the organization's goal? Did it make the organization, did it increase their revenue? Did it fast track marketing? Did it fast track CX, which is customer success? Where customer success downtime reduced or increased? Like whatever you built as UX, the different title or talents within the engineering job roles. What did he do to the bigger organization? Because if you're telling me about, oh, you did 50 server bugs, me as a marketing person, I'm wondering, does this include the time when people could not write their name in the application? Like, what does it mean? So that is why you also have to make sure that you are in tune with almost every department and the overall organization's tonality. What languages do they speak? What do they use? What is the core? What is the burning concern of the organization this quarter, this month, next month, half year, this year? How is what you are doing, even if you feel like your team lead is not in line, you can also create, you need to own your own almost like your own career destiny in a very approachable manner. Not that your manager sits in front of you, you're sending them a Slack message. Please, not that type. Right? That's another thing about character as well. But you are more interested because your manager also wants to get promoted. I hope you know that. Your team lead also wants to get promoted, and I hope you know that. I'm not saying ask kissing, and that has nothing to do with it. If whatever you're doing and whatever character you're displaying in your team as an engineer, if it's not doing that one thing, which is making your department look good, one, two, making your manager's life easier. And when I say easier in terms of you are faster, you can deliver, you are dependable, you are reliable, it's okay. You might feel used. You might feel not recognized. Honestly, I'm not saying and it's a bad behavior. I know a lot of managers and a lot of team leads do that. It's bad. I don't do that, thank God, because I experienced it. And that's one of the things we're also going to talk about as we go on the slide as well. Right? The things that you also experience, don't carry it on. Don't think, oh, it made me tough. No. You're just going through trauma. Make it right and make it easier. And the ones that you see that are taking advantage of it, cut them off. If you're a senior manager, it's okay. You know you've tried your best. That if God ever taps you, you can be like that one. You safe. You know I tried, right? Because a lot of people are also confused as well. That's applicable if you're a senior person. But back to juniors and anyone under 10 years professional band, right? You need to start speaking in the global revenue language. You need to start tweaking your conversation into percentage. One of the things that I always say is if if you do not know the numbers of your organization in terms of revenue, percentage, profit and loss, is because in your, and I stand to be corrected. I've said it so many times in a lot of sessions, and I still wait for someone to correct me. It's because in your personal life, you don't go by budgets. You don't also do budgeting. If you do budgeting, where you say today I'm only buying recharge this week, for my salary is 300K, and I'm only spending 100K for myself, 50K for black tax, 10K for two shawarma, for the day just to reward yourself, and you bought a glass of Chapman. The other one, I'm saving it. Oh, you sit down again the next month, you see that, I didn't follow that. Okay, this month I'm going to be stricter. You do 3 months review, you're like, this, okay, unexpected plan came up, whatever. You're like, no, the next 3 months I am going to be strict. If you don't do that in your personal life, you can never understand the organizations on when they're talking about it. It will just, trust me, it's going to fly over your head. Once you are financially sound in your personal life, when your finance person is speaking at the organization, you would relate. When he's telling you, oh, the revenue is this amount and the overhead cost is increasing and it will make sense, because when you are getting paid your salary, you've taken out what you want to spend for yourself, but then all of a sudden, two of your friends that did not tell you that they were even dating anybody 2 months ago now tell you that they are engaged and they're about to get married and their Ashobi is 150. You would know when you look at your books to say, Ashwebi, I want 50K, I cannot work. My salary is already gone. Which of my best friends would like to, which of our other friends in the same circle would like to share material so that maybe up can be lace, down can be chiffon or silk material. And you know that you can't go to an expensive tailor, you have to go to Agba tailor that will still get the style, or you just do rambuba and keep it moving. If you cannot have a financial control, when the organization is presenting theirs, it would fly over your head. You would not be interested because you already do not even have a financial discipline. Until you have that in your personal life, you would understand why organizations would just say, we are doing 500 overhead counts and letting everybody go. And then you yourself will be able to know that it had nothing to do with me. It was just a business decision. But if you don't understand what finances does in your life, of course, when they start to be like, can you imagine? Unfair people. But you were not listening 2 months ago when they started talking about the decline on the numbers, so that you yourself have started knowing that something is happening. But you are not even listening. You're just like, I'm doing my work, I'm doing it well, I'm doing it well, I'm doing it well. You were not listening to the numbers. You have to listen to numbers. Numbers talk more. And that is why in your own representation as well, when you are speaking and presenting what you do, you have to talk in numbers. If you don't talk in numbers, you are just speaking a lot of languages that a lot of C-level executives do not understand. So if you don't know how to do the numbers telling, take time out, plan. AI can plan skills for you. 20 minutes a day, 30 minutes a day. Listen on how an engineer can speak in number-driven way, revenue-driven way. That is what would help you even in the global space as well. If you are not a revenue linked engineer or architect, you would be stuck. You would just be engineer back, like literally back end. Like there'll be your manager, you will be surprised that you'll be saying your team lead, he doesn't even know anything, he can't even build because he knows how to speak in numbers. He knows how to speak in impact. He knows how to represent the team of temp engineers and speak it in the number way that leadership and management will understand. Until you can do that, you may not be able to rise to a team lead. You just continue to be a very good engineer. I know a number, at least I know a couple of again, that's what I said. So engineers are not very far-fetched from me. I know a number of engineers that are in team lead position, and one of their own struggle, you know why you are struggling, that your team lead doesn't know anything. Your team lead knows he doesn't know anything, but guess what, it's only your team lead that can speak to managers, that can speak to clients, that can speak to partners in the language that they understand. Because you, when they ask you to come and present, first of all, you're fighting with camera. Secondly, you're fighting with even saying what you did. You are coming with so much shoulder pad, and you don't even know how to connect what you're about to present to the business objectives. So the C-level executives are just like, I don't even understand what this guy is saying. Please, can you get someone that can speak in terms of numbers for me? Are we moving forward, or are we moving backwards? What's the percentage? So I did this three thing, and it was again just like what Madam President had read earlier. In terms of, if you see this now, why would you not want to hire someone that has delivered this? 400,000 users onboarded. You don't need to know that, oh, the marketing funnel. So the marketing funnel, I did this like this, I did it like this, I went on the road. They're just numbers. That is what anybody wants to see. 44% budget optimized. I know you're, as an engineer, probably wondering, what does that mean? Any business C-level person already, and you could hear when Madam President was reading it as well, she was already like, so she has to take a bit like, for 4% budget optimized, like, that's a lot. How did she do that? Yes, that is the numbers C-level executives relate to. Like, someone that will help me save money and still deliver, please, where are they? Why? Because everybody's reducing cost. Someone that will help me get 40% revenue from partners. So that means that I don't have to spend from the business money 100%. Who is that person? I'm not going to come and say, oh, I did 10 campaigns. Yeah, what did my 10 campaigns relate to? Oh, I built 10 apps. There were 20 users on it, or there were 2,000 users. Yeah, your 2,000 users was in terms of how many days? Apologies. In terms of how many days? Sorry, I apologize. I kept referring her to my president, technical secretary, right? So in terms of how many days? In terms of how many days did you get those users? How many, and what was the user number before? Whenever you get into a new role, and it's something that I always advise, right? Anyone, when you get into a new role or into a new position, try and get data of whatever was happening before, so that by the time you are wanting, and that's what one of many things a lot of us don't do, even engineers and people in my own kind of role as well, they get into roles and the excitement is just to get started and run. No, I don't do that anymore. I will be like, please, what was the number before? Because I want to measure. You must always want to measure. The only reason why I can give you these numbers is because I measured. I was sitting with the numbers. So as we were spending, I was looking at it. As we were enrolling, I was looking at the numbers. As we were finishing as graduate, I was like, you have to be interested. I won't just say, oh, I did social media now. People are liking. Oh, no, 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 no. What's the liking translating to? What is the download? Are people just downloading your app just for the sake of downloading? Where is the roadblock? Is that downloading resulting to usage? Is it resulting to people saving? Is it resulting to recommendation? Is it like, what are the things you need to study it? You can't just say, oh, I'm an engineer. Let's stop it today now. You have to be able to show real proof that I'm an engineer that is interested in the growth. When you see these new roles that they are calling growth marketers, because I always laugh because I'm just like, I don't even understand. Who even told you that you could even do marketing without growth? Who does marketing? Like, if you're doing marketing and there's no growth, then you are failing at your job. So of course, growth is with marketing. I would be failing at my job if I'm doing 10 campaigns and I'm not seeing the results in revenue. Then it means that I'm just burning money. So I am, as a marketer, and as of course a growth marketing that is very a growth marketer that is very good in optimization as well. I am looking for areas where I can save money, right? Where I can save money, where I can do campaigns, or where I can do activations that would not burn me millions of naira. Yes, I will find it. If you ever heard of ALX, or if you've ever been a part of ALX community, maybe you would remember this. Before I joined ALX, and they didn't have a marketing team, and the vibration was not heavily vibration, right? Vibrating rather. And when I joined, at some point there was a budget freeze, and that's where this budget optimization came up. And there was no marketing budget. It was zero. It was zilch. And guess what happened? I'll share this experience with you. And guess what happened? But the community, and that's the graduate, they had a budget. So not like marketing had a zero budget like that. We just had like maybe 1% or 2% of our budget available. So I had to be very careful on where to spend and how to spend it. That was how we came about the t-shirt. So if you're ever part of ALX and you had an ALX t-shirt and you had the QR code at the back, that was it. So what I did then was thought, okay, so I leaned towards my community manager. Remember what I said about, I didn't just say, marketing, no budget. So what shall I now do? There's nothing to do now. Let us, no, you can't. You have to stretch. So I sat down and I thought, okay, community, you have budget, Abby, right? Okay. And people will be going for events, Abby, no problem. So we started kitting everybody up in the ALX t-shirts. Right. So I sat down, designed, and used data. That's why you have to be interested in number and data. You cannot be a successful and a growth engineer without data and in being interested in the numbers. So I drafted out and I said, okay, where are the top states? There's 3 states in Nigeria now. Where are the top states where the community were vibrant? So if you were in any of the states where the community were not vibrant and you were wondering, why didn't you get t-shirts? Allow me share the reason why. This was the reason why. So I picked 10 states, and every quarter we'll send t-shirts to them and just tell them and roll up banner to say, make sure you go for at least 3 to 4 tech events each quarter and go. So ALS guys were going in numbers. So initially, when you design a t-shirt, you want to put the big thing on the hand and on the chest and all of that. If you notice, the ALX logo came up on the sleeves. Does anybody know why? Again, not all of my credit, but glory be to God, because I'm a faith believer and I'm a Christian, so I have to give glory to God for that as well. The reason is because I realized that whenever you go for events and people stand up to pick up the mic and say, my name is Omalara from whatever, do you know what usually happens? The camera angle is always from the side, right? Most of the time, not always the front. It's usually from the side, or the camera does a back view so that they can catch the stage or the panel that person is addressing. So that was why a big what's it called, QR code or the logo was at the back, and then the ALX all of that was always on the sleeves. So if you're a marketing person, I mean, by all means, do that thing. So that was what I did. So what I turned every community member into, I used to call it in my own, as silos out of the limelight, was their walking billboards. Now, there is nowhere I would say that to, or go for an interview, or be in front of a C-level executive like you all are thinking now, wow, I just thought it was t-shirts. No, it was more than t-shirts. It was more than t-shirts. For everybody else, it was t-shirts. And when we just send it to all the states, because there was not enough money. So you pick. You have to be data-driven. You have to be interested in the numbers. You have to be. You can't say, I'm an engineer. Then the issue of the agencies. So at the beginning, we had like 6 agencies, because at the beginning of the year, there's always money. And then when it was time to say, there is no money and whatever, and all of the agencies, I couldn't afford to keep all of the agencies on retainer. What did I do? I stretched, reduced the number of the agency. So the agency that was PR, make them to become PR and activation agency. The agency that was just strictly digital, make them to become digital and content agency. So again, that's why I said that, you always see the numbers. Numbers do a lot of talking. But if you're not interested in numbers, is when you'll be shocked that you got fired. I got fired. No, why are you shocked? Where were you when they were presenting numbers? Were you not in the all hands? Were you not listening? They were talking revenue. Were you just thinking revenue does not concern you? It concerns everybody, even to the cleaners, even to the tissues in the toilet. It concerns everyone. So you have to make sure you're paying attention. And you also have to make sure that whatever you are doing, if you don't know the numbers, be asking whoever it is that you need to ask to get the numbers. Speak to your product managers, speak to your product designers. Guys, the product that we released yesterday, what's the usage like? What's the usage percentage? Have people downloading? Has it generated anything? What does it look like? Don't just be like, we sent it out, I've done my own work, I've done my business. Yes, you need to be interested. Don't say, there's too many things that I have to do. You have to organize yourself, so that way you can say, maybe my Mondays and Tuesdays, Mondays are admin, whereby you are attending meetings, talk. You try to add, I used to do that. So you try to add all your meetings on Mondays. Tuesdays, deep work. You are designing, you are looking. Wednesday, you are reviewing all the apps that you have created or all the journeys. You are doing all of that. Thursday, you are the owner. You have to own it. Or if it's a thing of maybe week 1 of the month, week 2, week 3, and it's the 4th week of the month that you are now all of a sudden, sorry, I know that I can see, 21 minutes past. I know we started late, so just give me, I'll try and rush off in 10 minutes. Is that okay, Madam Technical Secretary?
Yes, please.
Okay, all right. I'll rush up in 20 minutes, right? So make sure that you are actually organized so that you're not losing track of all. You can't just say, I built 20 apps. AI can build 20 apps. How does that make yours different? What has yours done? I built 20 solutions. What did it do? What did it reduce? What did it save the organization? What did it increase? Where did it increase? How did it increase? So you have to make sure if it's data people you go and pally with, go and pally with them. If it's CX people you go and pally with, go and pally with them. If it's product people you go and pally with, go and if it's fine, you should have an ally in every department. Don't say, that's not my business. I don't have time. My work is my work. 9 o'clock I start, 5 p.m. I close. Leave that for trust fund babies and people that their father and their parents own buildings and lands, and if you really want to be an outlier, these are the secrets. I'm telling you for a fact. I am telling you for a fact. These are the secrets. I've seen it work. I've seen people live it. I've lived it. My partner has lived it. My husband has lived it. I know a number of other people that have lived it as well. Sometimes even way less than 10 years of career, 5 years of career, and you can tell. You can already see it. So no, you have to be interested. For you to be an outlier, you have to own it. Be interested in the numbers and let the numbers do the talking. Now, we're going to talk about 4 pillars of global identity blueprint. Again, remember, that's why I started to say that beyond the borders, whatever you start doing now is going to be the muscle. For those that came late that may have missed it and just thought, but she's talking about borders. Why is she not talking about we travel, the visa application? No, I'm not a visa or embassy person. Career, blueprints. Whatever skills that you build now, whatever muscle you build now, that is what will carry you. Whether any country, any industry, because that is what you already have. Now, personal branding. This one, I can sit down on. This should be, I've been the only topic we should have talked about today, because if you were listening, most of everything we've talked about has been around personal branding. Personal branding does not start from your LinkedIn post. If you are someone that posts on LinkedIn because you have been told post 25 times a day, you will get seen, and you're also someone that goes on LinkedIn, on AI to say, give me keywords, stop it. Please. I need someone to write that in the chat window. Let me know that, yes, and I'll tell you why I said you should stop it. Stop it. If you have less than 10 years, okay, that's a bit, 8 years, stop it. Let me tell you the trick, because you know why? Nobody is seeing you yet. Yes, hear me out. Nobody is seeing what you are posting. It's only your friends and your colleagues that are seeing. Not that you should stop giving keywords. If you're posting on LinkedIn and asking LinkedIn for keywords to be seen, don't stop posting on LinkedIn for now. Give yourself a break. Let me tell you what you should do. Go and find, find the top 10 engineers in the world, in Nigeria, in Austria, in Sweden, whatever it is. Find them, look for their names, follow them. When they post something, engage with what they've posted. I'll repeat that again. Because should I say, no, let me repeat that again before I tell you why. Stop posting for now. Take a break from post. Nobody's seeing it. It's only 3 likes. It's only your friends from secondary school and your and university that are liking your post, that are following you. No, and maybe some of the colleagues that you even speak to. Even your colleagues or your previous boss is not even a follower of your page. Nobody from your previous company has even given you recommendation because you fought with them. You didn't look back. You said no turning back. They sang the song for a different reason. You are singing the song for a different reason. No turning back. Nobody's giving you reference. How do you think a recruiter data that goes to your profile, looking at all the wonderful things that you said you have done, yet nobody from any previous organization has even been able to give you a recommendation on your profile. There are many red flags there already. Yes, there are. Let me go back and retreat. Now, stop posting. Find inspirations, find aspirations, find other people that you find or that you inspire to be in your industry, in your line of work. If you are pivoting already in your pivoting line, whichever one it is, follow them. Don't send them requests because they don't know you. I know Igbo people are very, they're very touchy about that. Follow them. When they post, engage in a very good way. If you now how to use AI prompting, you can use AI to help you to know how to answer that based on your level and your career, right? Don't go and be answering something that by the time somebody else now answers or counter it, then we don't see any reply from you. Do you understand? So by now, that's why I said I'm not talking about AI. By now, you should have an AI thread, THRED, or an open chat, saved chat that is just for your career. You can go and open another one that is just for your LinkedIn conversation and building up of your LinkedIn profile. So that whenever you see a comment from any of these guys, you take it back there and then you can ask AI to write it in your own words. I mean, I'm believing that you're familiar with your AI usage now, and based on your experience, and tell you what to reply it as. That is what you should be. You should be engaging right now. Do you know why you should be engaging? Because LinkedIn is still doing what Instagram used to do when Instagram started, meaning that when you comment on my post and you write something, my network of 4,995 would see it. Let's give an example of a Babajide Joshua, who is my husband, that has like over 20,000 or 50,000. I'm not sure what the count is. If you comment on his posts on LinkedIn, is 50,000. How many do you have? Do you even have to 300? Do you get what I mean? They would see it, and that would even, and if it's a clever response, that would even prompt someone to want to check your profile, hoping that your profile is well tidied. You've tidied up your home as well, right? Your background is not you at the beach. Your background is not you doing like this. Your background is not you doing, your background is tidy. Yeah, you've done all of that homework, very tidy, keywords there arranged properly, you have recommendations, you have evidence, you have pictures, you have all of that, right? Engage with others, because that way it is a proof that, one, you know what you're saying as an engineer. Two, you also can contribute and articulate your words. You're not just creating a post that only 5 people will see it, 10 impressions, 20 impressions. Nobody's seeing it. Nobody that needs to recruit you, nobody is seeing it in the level that you need them to see it at, but you are writing because you think it's those people that are seeing it. They might see it if someone like me is following you, of course, and someone like me engages with you. But if nobody in that level or that caliber engages, it's not going to be seen. And that is why I said, take a break from posting, engage smartly, because that is where of your proof of knowledge and your proof of that you know what you're saying and you're ready would be seen by others who can actually recruit you and refer you. All right. Okay. The next thing also under internal proof is, I can't say this enough, you have to engage. So you document, please read all these things on the slide, because I don't want to read it and be going one by one. So you created an app. Let me give this good scenario for you. You created an app or you did a solution and your team worked on it, and then it's on launch, the day of the launch or the day of it being deployed happened, whether in the office or a large scale event, and they asked you to attend. You said you can't because it's too far, but 3 blocks or 3 streets or 10 minutes away from there, you know a cousin that lives around the corner. It's in the office as well, and they just did a nice mini launch, or everyone is checking the numbers. You decided that's because that day is your work from home day. You decide not to go to the office. You don't have any evidence. I like to tell you that you don't have any evidence and you're not documenting properly. When something that you launch, that you worked on launches, my darling women, make every effort to show up and capture. Whether it is you that will capture it, or whether it is someone that will capture it at the background, whether you will take a picture, they say they are doing press release. They're like, oh, it's marketing communication people. Press release for a product that you worked on, or for an app that you created and you were part of, and you bumped late night candle. And that's what we are saying about no evidence. And you are just going to be doing a lot of talking, but you're not going to show up. Like if I type your name in Google now, I can't see anything. But yet, if I type your organization's name, there are like 3 or 4 press releases on some apps or some solution or some product launch you were a part of. Why? Those are evidence. Or if I was to ask any of us on this call now that in the past 8 months of this year, whether you're in a job or out of work and you're currently looking for work, what have you done for the past 8 months that would make me to know that you are that engineer that I need to hire or that I need to have in my team, or that should command XYZ promotion and salary increase? What have you done? Are you just going to tell me because you came to work all day, or you didn't miss any day out of work, or the day you were really, really sick, you were still at work? Or are you going to actually show me how it's tied to the revenue? Or do you not even need to show me, and I even can be the one to remind you? Do you have a brag sheet? Do you have a work journal where you keep all of these scorecards for yourself, so that when it is day for appraiser, you are not expecting your manager that is as busy as you, that is facing Lagos traffic as you, that probably even has 5 children and is the firstborn of their own family, that is paying so much black tax, should remember that they gave you a project to deliver on a match and you did it excellently. That's the person you expect to remember to help you keep your scorecard. No, because even me, I might not even remember. That's the truth. Because all of us are dealing with different things. I might be at different level, but if we're in all of this Lagos, we're all dealing with the same things. Now, how do you make sure that you are documenting your internal proof? You need to have a brag sheet. You need to have a work journal. Forget appraiser. Forget my company has appraiser. You better have your own appraisal. Better have your own appraisal. Have evidence for it as well. Make sure it ties to the overall objective. Listen out, because finance will say it. They will say it at all hands. If you don't attend all hands because it has nothing to do with you, oh, it's not compulsory. Make it compulsory for you by yourself. Be I almost said something now that I know it's not even a word. Make it compulsory for yourself that me, I will be there, because you want to take notes. You want to ask right questions. Oh, the product launch we did last month, how has that changed? Has that moved any chain on the revenue drive? They will tell you no, it hasn't. Oh, we saw a change. You can. Those are questions that you can ask finance, but you're not asking finance. You're saying, oh, but we have 25,000 downloads. Okay, and did that bring in any money? Because then for an engineer, for you to make you, they'll be like, oh no, that girl, she's always interested to know whether people even downloaded or used it. Speak to her. Speak to Kemi. Speak to Faye Kemi. She might know. She asks very good, intelligent questions. Oh, we did an update on the app. What did we see any change? CX, what as the complaints reduced? I just want to know, has it reduced? Has it not? Okay, can I take it out of this call? CX, please. So we can actually, so I can come and sit with you and I can find out where the bottleneck is. You don't say that. You just say and just say, oh, well, we updated. CX has not said anything. They said everything is good now. So if there's any problem, they should come back and tell us. You have to stand apart. You have to be interested so that you can even go and meet your manager and say, oh, so I sat with Ijoma at CX, and she said that people are still complaining that when they download on Android, is it okay? Is there any work I can take a pause on and just find out what the disconnect is and just do a bit of some test run? What your manager say, no, that's not important. If your manager now says that's not important, make sure it is somewhere that, oh, boss, I'm just checking, if you have to learn how to manage your boss as well. Your boss might say that's not important because maybe you caught them off guard, but just look for how you maybe say it by play, maybe on, sorry, play on WhatsApp or on Slack, and be like, just checking in. I raised that issue with you. You say it's not that, oh, their boss. Checking in that you don't go and ask ChatGTP for things that are just soft. right? Just checking in that, you asked me to not step down yet on that CX issue that I brought up with you. But I would really like to look into it just to make sure that it doesn't affect our revenue later or the numbers we are looking at later by the end of the year. If you're not speaking in revenue and number, because your boss might just think that maybe you're being lazy, because if you don't you don't even understand the connection, and will just be like, no, you have to sound interested, and it's only numbers that will help you to know what is important and what is not. You have to have an internal advocate. I know most of the time we're always confused of sponsor and mentor. Sponsor is someone that can put their name. So you know how you always be sharing your CV up and down, and nobody helps you to forward your CV, and nobody is ready to sponsor you. Sponsor is professional credits that not a lot of senior professionals have. They usually have like maybe 3 in a year, 2 in a year. For them to put it down, for them to put one chip down for you, you understand how much things you have to have done. You have to have internal proof. You have to have been outspoken. You have to be interested. And you also have to be interesting. You have to be interested and be interesting. So you cannot be interested but not be interesting. You can't be bored. You can't be bored. You can't today when you're not reliable. Today you wake up at the right side. You are great at work. Tomorrow you slouching. Then you have to be dependable. So before that person can actually drop their sponsorship chip on you to say, no, that girl, I vouch for her. Trust me. No, 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 she can go. Let her do it. No problem. Yes, it happens in a smaller room. It doesn't happen at the appraisal table. It doesn't happen at the all hands call where you are being thinking that the plenty English you are speaking to, somebody is listening. It doesn't happen in all those places. No, it happens in the smaller room. And that way it really helps. The third one as well is from what you do from from number 1 to 2. That's what will actually help you to create a case study. Then you can now go on to start creating content and start talking about it. But then again, still make sure that you are engaging. These are the 3 pillars that you should just start building internally. One, what is your own? The second one is your identity. What do you want to be known for? What do you want to be seen for? It's not just a job title, but what are the other business outcomes you want people to point to you at? The third one, as well, I've said so many times, is your number and your system literacy. How are you understanding the lifetime value of an action, of your customer, of your target audience? How are you collaborating with other people across different functions, from sales to products to CX, to find out where your technical debits might cost money? So if we don't fix this on time, how does it affect the business? If we don't fix that on time, how does it affect revenue? If we don't deploy that on time, how does it move the revenue forward as well? Once you're able to do all of this, now start to put it in your journey in a very better storytelling. And that would help definitely as well. Now, on Monday, because today's Saturday, what I really want you to do, you can screenshot this as we round up because we're done already. Sorry that I stretched your time. As we round up, is review yourself. Where are you at? What stage are you at? How have you been effective? What have you been doing in the last 8 months and last 24 months? What achievements can you articulate in metrics and all the different things we talked about as well? Because this is how you also will speak to in the global corporate world also. Whether you work for a multinational, you work for Soji and Sons, you work for something NGO, you work for PS as well. These are the things that matters. You're coming from a solution. You're coming from proactive. You're being proactive, not reactive. It's only when a problem comes, you're like, yes, I'm an engineer. But you are coming from a proactive point of view. Review yourself. Review yourself honestly. Don't review yourself on what you think you are. Review yourself based on your work ethics, what you have done so far. Then audit as well. Audit your internal reporting. Strip the jargons. Fix 25 bugs. Script 8 bugs. What are you doing? Because that is what will help you to find a sponsor. That is what will help you to nominate who should be your sponsor. Your sponsor may not be your manager. Your sponsor can be a manager from another segment. But you also need to make sure that there is a connection, we call it dotted line, not a straight line, a dotted line to them where they can still see how you work or how you do. You can pick a mentor at work, but you can also pick a mentor outside of work. I always suggest a mentor at work and a mentor outside of work, because a mentor outside of work would help you with an overview of life, of your domestic personal life and your work life. And a mentor at work would also be the one that will give you expert to say, you're not doing well, or your guys complaining about you, or whatever it is, right? So try and make sure you do that. Stop doing solo. Stop doing it's just me and my laptop. Start doing coffee chats. What are coffee chats? 15 minutes with someone from different departments that your role services, that your role connects to. Don't say, oh, I don't have any business with finance. Clearly you can see that you do. Oh, I don't have any business with facility. You may do, because the facility might be able to tell you that they saw your name inside the dustbin that they're about to fire. All these things have connections, right? I know it sounds funny, but trust me, it's real. I've seen it. I've heard of it and I've seen it as well, right? So make sure that even if just a small chat, go to the canteen, eat in the canteen, have rapport, speak to people. Don't do, I bring my lunch, I eat on my desk. I don't, no, once in a while, go out. Somebody is leaving, having a leaving do, go and say bye to them. It's someone's birthday. Okay, you're on diet like we, no problem. Just go. Pick two Kit Kats, put it in your bag, give it to someone else. But don't act like, oh, they don't see me, they don't know me. Because the more you also are out there and in the, in your internal social gatherings, internal social gatherings, it also helps people to know what you do and how fluent you are as well. Your resume and your LinkedIn, if you caught anything that I said earlier as well, you might need a rehaul. Start to ask for recommendation. Even if you are a freelancer, if you freelance, ask for recommendation from your clients, ask for information from people that you've worked with. Let them give you recommendation, because that is what a recruiter will use to sort of review if you actually did this as well. Global recognition doesn't widen the door behind you. It's just a personal exit. And the room too doesn't do personal exit as well. You have to make sure that you are ready. You are documenting, you are following through, you are auditing yourself, and you are also updating yourself as you go along. These were the five. This is a quick recap. These are the five things we talked about. We talked about the reality check, the local trap versus the global standard, the revenue linked area as well, partnerships, capital discipline. Also, we talked about the four global identity prints, which is where I spent most of my time at as well, and of course the mandate, and then the looping back and making sure that if your organization is one that does not do appraisal, where everybody just says, oh, I don't do anything, we don't do appraisal, make it your own. Ask your manager for a feedback once a month, 30 minutes, 15 minutes. How am I doing? Am I doing well? Am I working in line? Am I out of line? What are the places that you think I need feedback on, or that I need to look into and I need to get better at? Please, I'm willing to learn. Don't be like, oh, my manager is not a nice person. I don't want to speak to my manager. My manager is always horrible. They are the ones that can see most of the things that you don't see. And then you can also just ask for the spirit of wisdom as well, so that you can descend and know that manager that really just doesn't want anything good for you, and just know that it's time to arrange your exit strategy. But in all, I hope that you're able to take your skills and your expertise across the border with the different things that we talked about today and the different things that you're learning from this community. Thank you, and apologies again that I stretched time, and I hope this was really helpful. Thank you very much, and I'm open to any questions. Madam Secretary, over to you.
Okay, thank you so much, Babajide Duroshola. I really appreciate it. And for me, we don't need to be the silos in our organization. We need to collaborate and collaborate and collaborate. I've heard that over and over, and I'm still hearing it, even from today's speech, which says we should identify the numbers, keep track of the numbers, and then you'll be able to move tell your story in an impactful way. So please permit me to appreciate the presence of one of our elders, Engineer Wakegbo Ojuku. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. All the chapter chairman, national executive, we say thank you, we appreciate you. But before we go further, let's give the privilege to the representative of the president, who is in person of Engineer Komolafe Agnes, that is the General Secretary representing our President, Engineer Neina Chinyere Igwebe, FNSC. Over to you, Madam President.
Okay, good day, everyone, and thank you to the to our presenter and to the technical team for a well-presented paper. Permit me to appreciate our BOT chairman on the call tonight, Nina Igwebe, FNSC, who is on another national assignment in Ondo State at the moment. I humbly welcome our BOT chairman, Engineer Nwako Monica Ojuku, who has been with us on the call since the beginning. Ma will celebrate you. We acknowledge you and appreciate your effort in with us to see building a future that is AI ready is
Madam Technical Secretary, can you just, how network is
All right.
working, so I don't know.
Engineer Agnes, I think your network is kind of breaking. We need to like proceed while we not waste people's time right
that
now.
is
So
in time. Shouldn't stay in. We should further deeply at the design and development.
okay, I think we need to proceed. MC, please, over to you.
Okay, thank you very much, Engineer Basede, and a very big thank you to our speaker. This session, it sounded like it was just for me, and I don't know how many people felt that way, but I'm so, so happy I am being a part of this session. Thank you so much for the energy. Thank you so much for telling us everything as we need to know. If you have any question, please go ahead and type it out in the chat section. Our speaker is ready to answer all your questions. So please type it out in the chat section. And if, of course, you want to ask live, you could raise your hand and I'll call you on to ask your question. I'm sure a lot of us have a lot of questions to answer. A lot of mine were answered. And I just want all of us to also ask, if you have any question at all, please type it in the chat section and we'll read it out. Or you could raise your hand, your virtual hand, and I'm going to call on you to ask your question. So I'm looking forward to the questions in the chat section. So a few things that I wrote out. I know Engineer Bosede has already done a lot of recap, and of course you've heard from our speaker, and I'm sure your notes are as full as mine. One said, global recognition is not given to those who work the hardest in silence. It is earned by those who position their technical output as business value. So no matter who you are, our speaker said, even the lowest title in an organization, no matter who you
my
are.
network threw me out.
Yeah, please,
Hello?
we've moved on. We've moved on from that, please.
Okay.
Thank you so much,
So
ma'am.
thank you so much, everyone.
Yes, thank you very much, Ma. Thank you. So yes, So don't forget to always show how you are making or you are of value to the organization or business value, so that you'd be recognized and so that you be able to ensure that you have a standing in any organization that you find yourself. And of course, automation, AI, a lot of people are scared of artificial intelligence, of automations. AI is coming for the title, not the talent. So you have your talent, showcase your talent, and not just your title, right? Thank you once again, our speaker, for that excellent session. I am so happy. A lot of things. I'm sure Engineer Bosside is smiling because she knows what I've told her previously. So a lot of things. I've gotten a lot of notes. I've gotten a lot of insights, and I am definitely going to practicalize all of them. Thank you so much. Thank you. I think a lot of people have already gotten a lot of answers to their questions like I did. So you don't have any question. You know, we say when a lecturer teaches so well, the questions are minimal. So there are no questions in the chat section and no one's hand is raised. So I think we are good to go. Yes, we are. Okay, so yes. You want to say something? Okay, okay. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, so we are going ahead to the certificate presentation session, and I would like to call on the representative of the president to please present our certificate of appreciation to the speaker. So I'd love to call back Engineer Agnes Komo Lafe.
All right, thank you so much. I'm actually on transit, but because the president is not available, I had to just stand in for her. So,
okay, Ma, sorry, I didn't know, but okay.
Since you are in transit, Engineer Kamalafe,
Yes.
please let's have the honor of Engineer Wakego Ojuku to please do us the honor of presenting this to as the senior, the most senior on the call. Thank you.
Do I have the floor? Good morning or good afternoon?
Yes, ma'am, you have the floor, ma'am.
Okay, thank you very much. I want to appreciate every one of us, and I go ahead because of time to present the certificate to our impactful lecturer this morning and afternoon. So I go ahead. A certificate of appreciation proudly presented to Seun Babajide Duroshola as a guest speaker during the Apwen Embodied Without Boundaries on the theme Future Skills for Engineers on the topic Engineering Beyond Borders, Building Your Identity as a Future-Ready Engineer in the AI Economy, dated this day, August 22nd, 2026. On behalf of the President of Association of Professional Women Engineers of Nigeria, I say thank you very much and God bless you. Ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, ma. Thank you, ma. Totally appreciate it. Thank you, ma.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, Engineer. Thank you so much, Engineer Nwakwego. Thank you. Okay, so now we're moving to the next item on our agenda today. And I'd love to call on, permit me to call on Engineer Bosside, or if it's okay, Engineer Giwa, to please give the closing remarks. after we have the professional photographs. Please, let's turn on our cameras for the professional photographs.
Okay, it's our section
Let's
now
turn
to
on our
take,
cameras.
like our speaker said, you need to have an evidence, and taking picture on today's program is one of the evidence that you are upgrading, upskilling, and learning and improving yourself. Am I right, my speaker? All right, please let's do the honor of switching on our videos so that we can just do the headshot. Thank you. Okay, more cameras are coming up. All right, I'm taking Ruth Innocent. Why that? Okay, so at the count of three, I'm taking the first screen. So at the count of three, we all have to like rehearse our motto, which is what? Encourage, encourage, enhance, excel. Are we ready? We can mute. So I want to see those teeth. Thank you. So 1, 2, 3, go. Apwen. Encourage, enhance, excel. Again.
Encourage,
Enhance,
excel.
Thank you so much. Over to you, my national chair, Engineer Kachimegiwa.
Thank you very much. I have been ambushed yet again. Thank you, my technical secretary and our moderator for today. I know that has been done already, but I really would like to appreciate our speaker for today. You did not only speak to the young ones, you spoke even to us to keep doing what we do, build character above all, while maintaining visibility with every sense of humility. Speaker, thank you so much. And so in closing, I would like to enjoin all of us to take what we have heard today and apply them practically in every sense of the word. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful week manifesting the best of you. Thank you, Technical Secretary and technical team. On this note, I want to wish us a beautiful professional life as we go forward imbibing everything we have learned. And thank you above all for this opportunity. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, Ma. Thank you. Okay, so let's take our closing prayer together. It's on the screen. Please let's unmute our mics as we say it together.
I pledge to Nigeria,
My
Nigeria, country,
share my
loyal and honest,
To
to
serve
serve
Nigeria with all
Nigeria
my
with
strength,
all my
to
strength,
defend our
and
unity, and uphold our honor and glory. So help me God. Amen.
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 Okay, thank you everybody for attending today's session. We wish you a very happy weekend, and I'd hand over the mic to our National Technical Secretary. Thank you, everybody.
Okay, thank you so much once again. And I will also appeal to you to not forget our upcoming webinars. There's one slated for September 5th, where we'll be having our immediate past president speak to us come September 19. That is just before our conference. And I hope to see everyone. I hope everybody has registered for the conference. If you are not, please kindly do that. While I want to see every one of you in Abuja during the conference, where we can keep the flag flying and we keep Apwen alive. God bless Apwen. God bless Nigeria. God bless every one of you.
Amen.
Amen.